hell, right? What is hell? God, you have the lake of fire, and then you have hell, right? So let's take a look at this map. Right, we have a map of Macedonia or Greece, right? But it's called Hellas, Hell, Athens, Nafplion. You see me, right? So hell upon a map is a real place. It's just called, it's what Greece is called, Hellas. Hold on. See, Macedonia or Greece. Right? So Revelation 20 and 14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. You see that? So death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. You understand that? Death and hell are separate from the lake of fire. So what is death? Romans 6 and 23. For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ our Lord, Yahushua. Right? So sin is death. Right? So Revelation 20 and 14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So sin and hell were cast into the lake of fire. So what is hell? Hold on. Jonah 2 verse 2. And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell I cried, and thou heardest my voice. And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell, affliction, hell, and thou heardest my voice. So affliction is hell. When you live in life and in a life of affliction, that is hell. It is torment. Hell is torment in your life, affliction in your life, right? So Revelation 20 and 14, now we have to translate this. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, right? So sin and affliction, because when you sin, Deuteronomy chapter 28 15 to 68 are the curses for sin, right? That's affliction. Forget transport in a slave ship for farm, and you don't reap the benefits of your own farm because another system taking the fruit from your farm. You see me? For your wife to cheat upon you and go sleep with another man, that's affliction. And where the affliction come from sin. So and sin and affliction were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Why? Watch it. Hold on. Death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Death is sin. Hell is affliction. You see me? This is the second death. So what me do want? What more I get? So watch it. Deuteronomy chapter 17 verse 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. So, when you have a ruler over your people, he has to be from his people. Don't call me racist or anything, but if I'm a black man, a so-called black man, how could I ever care for Chinese man? Right? I could respect them and live peacefully with them. But my main objective is to keep black people living happy. And if I'm a white man, right, a so-called white man, because we're dealing with seed and bloodline, not flesh and outside look anymore. Remember when the Lord was picking the new king over King Saul, and Samuel kept picking David's big, strong looking brother them, and the Lord said to him, I don't look at the outside of a person, I look at the inside. Okay? So you're supposed to have a certain person over your people that's from your people, that's among thy brethren, and not set one that is not thy brother, because only your people can care for your people. Okay, now the Lord's heritage is a speckled bird, so we can get more deeper now. A Muslim can never care about a Christian as much as a Christian cares about another Christian. Likewise, a Christian can never care about a Muslim the same way a Muslim care for a Muslim. You see what I'm saying now? That's why God said this. But, hold on. In 1 Maccabees chapter 8, verse, hold on. Hold on. 8 and 16, hold on. 1 Maccabees chapter 8, verse 16. So this is the Greeks when them take over, because the Greeks make democracy, right? Where you can vote for a man, and it can be any man, a China man, a white man, a black man, a Arab man, any man. But there's a problem in that. Because now we pass, remember, we're not talking about skin tones, now we're talking about objective. These men, them only care about money, right? And when you're voting, when you're dealing with voting, there's always more women than men. So you have to, once you destroy the minds of the women, right, you can destroy a whole civilization and make them only care about money through this voting. You see me? And believe this thing, bro. And they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and all that were that all were obedient to that one man, and that there was neither envy or emulation among them. Right? Hold on. Verse 18. And to entreat them that they would take the yoke from them, for they saw that the kingdom of the Grecians did oppress Israel with servitude. So remember I showed you in Joel chapter 3 that the Grecians and the Palestinians parted God's land, right? And they sold the children of Judah and Israel and Jerusalem unto the Grecians. And this is what it's talking about when they oppressed us in Maccabees with democracy. Because democracy is voting for a man no matter what him look like, what him about. Versus when God said, when you put a king over you, him have to come from thy brethren. You see me? Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. You understand? So you had a whole heap of so-called black people that vote for Joe Biden, right? I know them I understand, so this man was never for them. This man not even for other so-called white people. So he that's evil to him own self, to whom can him do good? You see me? Because this democracy system, it come from the Grecians. I remember Revelation 20 and 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, and this is the second death. Because death is sin, And hell is affliction. Remember Jonah 2 and 2? And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell I cried, and thou heardest my voice, because Jonah was inside the whale's belly. And he called that hell, not being able to move in darkness, affliction. Affliction. Why? Why was he in the whale's belly? Because he's trying to run away from what God told him to do. You understand? So hell is affliction. And affliction comes from sin or trial. You see me? So when it said death and hell, no, I remember when we are going out of the Bible for. When it says death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, remember, sin and affliction were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. You understand? But remember, Hebrews 8 and 8. Let's start at 8. Yeah. For Hebrews chapter 8 verse 8. For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Remember the two witnesses, right? That's so. Not according to the covenant that I made with the fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, right? This is a new covenant now. Because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. Right? This is the second one now. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me, from least to greatest, right? Hold on. Hold on. So I will know him when he puts his laws into him, right? Everyone are gonna know the laws that get the new covenant put into them. That's what they elect, and the 1/3 I hope for. So let me get this though. Here we go. By this, 1 John 5 and 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. So that's how you know you love God, right? But I want to get you know God. Because it's the same way. When you know God, you keep his commandments. So when it says in Hebrews 8 and 8 that all will know him because he's going to put the law in our heart, that means we won't be able to sin anymore. Meaning death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. Meaning we won't sin no more. Meaning no more death and no more affliction. Which death is sin and hell is the affliction for sin. So no more of this. Because remember, hell is Greece. And out of the Greek system, out of Greece come democracy. In 1 Maccabees chapter 8 verse 16, this is our Grecian time. Let me get 1 Maccabees 1:1 real quick, right? And it happened, 1 Maccabees 1:1, after that Alexander son of Philip the Macedonian, remember, because Hellas is the true name of the land of Macedonia. You see that? Macedonia, right? But you have hold on. Hellas is Greece, but Macedon, right? Macedon, Hellas. So, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, right? So hold on. So Alexander reigned first over Greece. Hold on. Verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So the Grecians, when they took over, evils was multiplied in the earth because they came with this system of 1 Maccabees 8 and 16. And they committed their government to one man every year who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation amongst them. Right, that's what the Grecians came up with. Because before the Grecians, everybody had a king over them. The king of the Persians, the king of the Israelites, the king of the Moabites, the king of the Egyptians. Everyone had a king, right? But the Grecians come with death and hell, with this voting system that's not fixing a thing for anybody, right? So we see that Alexander come with the democracy with the Grecians, and this how you get that there's no Jew nor Greek either, because this is what them was doing to the Israelites, the Grecians. Hold on, this is the same thing. Hold on. 2 Maccabees chapter 6 verse 6. This is still dealing with the Grecian man them. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So when the Grecians took over the world, right, the Greek Empire, you couldn't call yourself an Israelite or keep God's laws or his feast days. You couldn't say that you believe in a God. You couldn't say you was a Jew. You understand? This is what they was doing. And this is what comes with democracy, because this is called cancel culture right here in the Bible. When the Greeks took over, they canceled everyone's culture except themselves. And that's what we see in America doing to the world right now. They call people that a country that has a ruler, the same ruler for more than 20 years, they call him a dictator, when the people never rose up against them. And they say you need to vote somebody out. Really, they just need a puppet for care about money so that they can have their policies moving about. And this is hell, affliction. Because when you see democracy pop up on a land like Iraq or Afghanistan, then you see women wearing hijabs and burqas, shaking body like strippers, and TikTok and Instagram and OnlyFans. That's what democracy is. And single mothers and drug dealing baby daddies. That's what democracy is. You understand what I'm saying? And they force that on people. You know what come with democracy? Because heroin is not legal in no country except America. You see me? We get crack pipes and needles from our government because that's democracy. 2 Maccabees 6 and 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts or profess himself at all to be a Jew. You couldn't be a Jew. You understand? Meaning you couldn't keep God's commandments. They said that's evil. That's the cancel culture. And that where that come out of? Hellas. This is hell. This system we live in is hell. Where you see we're voting, and the man that we're voting for and people voted for most popular is talking about crack pipes and heroin needles and giving money to war. But we're not going to help the people we're giving the war weapons to so they can just die. But we're getting paid off the war weapons. That's why I'm going. You understand? That's hell. Hell is not the lake of fire. Or else this would not have said what it said in Revelations 20 and 14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. And this is the second death. Death The wages of sin is death. Hell. Jonah says, in my affliction, I cried out to the belly of hell. Hell is affliction. How you get affliction? Going against God. But the new covenant is Hebrews 8:8. When he puts the law in us, meaning we're all going to know him. We don't have to teach people the Bible no more, because we're all going to know him, that he puts the laws in us. Right? Meaning we can't sin no more. Meaning no more death. No more affliction, because no sin. So it's only blessings. Hell is not some pitchfork, tongue, red creature with two horns. And that is a similitude anyway for America, because it's the dragon with the two horns that spake as a lamb. Because America politicians say one thing, but them do another thing. You see me? Them speak with a forked tongue. They say one thing and they go the other way. And they have two horns. One horn is the Democrats and the other horn is the Republicans. Two wings, two horns. And this is death and hell. Because bring a Bible to a school, you get kicked out or arrested. Bring a dildo to school and they say it's great pride. It's oh, you're expressing yourself. You understand? Death and hell, sin. They woe to them that call evil good and good evil. This is what America do. It's death and hell. And this will be cast into the lake of fire, because this is Babylon, and Babylon are gonna get burned up in 1 hour. You understand? This is a deep thing. This is hell. And this place rules the world. And it forces this on other people. If a woman can't kill our baby in our belly before it come out of our belly, she gonna say my rights as a woman is being opposed because she saw something about women in America aborting the babies, and now she wants to abort her babies. You understand? This is death and hell. This is a Hellenistic system, Hellas. And this place will be cast into the lake of fire.